So there's a gentleman that comments on this channel. He asked me twice to do this video. Okay, the first time he asked me, I just blew him off, whatever. But he asked me a second time to do it, so I'm just gonna do the video, all right? Now on this channel, we mainly talk about anti-nihilism, the corrupt system, okay? Things that people would consider doom and gloom. That's the kind of stuff we talk on this channel, okay? This video is not gonna be doom and gloom, all right? So if you're one of my normal viewers that enjoy the doom and gloom content, then skip this video and I'll catch you on the next one, all right? Because this is not gonna be doom and gloom. It's gonna be something completely different. People always ask me, be like, hey Hashad, why are you always so negative? Well, it's not that I'm negative, it's just I like to talk about truth. I like to talk about things that people don't like to talk about, okay? It's nice to get out your comfort zone and talk about things that other people don't want to talk about. But anyway, if you want to hear that doom and gloom content, then I'll catch you on the next video, okay? Because this is not going to be doom and gloom. All right, now before we begin, many people might find this video controversial, okay? I'm mainly making this video for the guy that requested it, so if this video only get one view by the person that requested it, that's fine, all right? Because I understand y'all might not want to hear this type of talk. I don't want to see nobody come in the comment section calling me gross or nasty, okay? Because you've been warned. So if you decide to watch this video anyway and listen to what I gotta say, that's completely on you, okay? So, you know what, matter of fact, if somebody call me gross or nasty, I'll just take that as a compliment, honestly, because I don't give a shit. But that's my disclaimer. All right, so if you decide to view this video from here on out, that's on you, okay? So, hey, enjoy it. So without further ado, this video is sponsored by The Real Hawkeye. Alright, so you're asking me, is anal with a female good for anti-nihilism? To answer your question, yes it is. It's great for anti-nihilism. But me, I like doing anal with a female anyway, okay? I like doing it anyway, alright? That's always been my thing, okay? It's just what it is. Like I said, you can call me gross, you can call me nasty, I don't give a shit. But I like anal with a female anyway, okay? So, I'm not gonna sit here and use it as an excuse that's good for anti-nihilism, because, yeah, pretty much every chick I've been with, I always did anal with it, okay? So, yeah, it's just one of those things. Now, for me, this is nothing new, okay? Ever since I was a kid, I always had like this weird infatuation with a woman's butthole, okay? Ever since I was a kid, all right? And it's like a backstory. It's like a whole backstory to why, but it's nothing new. It was always like that ever since I was pretty much like 8 or 9 years old, okay? And I always told myself as a kid, when I get old enough to do it, I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna do it to as many females as I can. Okay, now I mentioned this backstory, so you're probably wondering, what is this backstory? Okay, so going back to when I was an 8-year-old kid, okay, back in the mid-90s, I was at my mom's house, okay, just doing kid things. You know, you run around, you play with your toys, whatever, just doing kid things. You know, as a kid, you run around the house, you get into things, you know, your mom might yell at you, tell you don't do that. But yeah, you're just playing, you know, you're not really looking to get in trouble. You're not really to look to get into things that you're not supposed to get into. So, you know, yeah, just being a typical 8-year-old kid, right? So I don't know how, but I ended up under my mom and dad's bed. Okay, I was playing, you know, so I ended up under the bed, you know, just playing. And it was a huge trash bag. It was like a black trash bag under there, you know. So I was playing with my little toys or whatever, and I guess one of the little pieces had went under the bed, so I went under the bed to get it, and I hadn't noticed the big trash bag under the bed. So being an 8-year-old kid, you know, I mean, you're kind of curious. You're curious about everything, really. So I'm like, a trash bag, that's out of place. Why is it under the bed? So naturally, as a kid, you know, well, most kids, you're gonna want to know what's in the bag, right? So I peeked in the bag, okay, and when I looked in the bag, it was a bunch of magazines, okay, a bunch of adult magazines that my dad had. He had them stashed away under the bed, okay? So I was like, oh snap, I never seen anything like that before, you know. So I already knew I wasn't supposed to be looking at that, and I didn't want to risk getting in trouble, because although I found it, I still knew that I wasn't supposed to be looking at that, and I didn't want to risk getting in trouble by my mom or my dad, whoever caught me. So I put the bag back together, you know. I closed the bag up so it didn't like I tampered with it, and I got from under the bed and I went in my room. So what I did, I waited till my parents went outside. Okay, my dad had, I think he left to go to the store, and my mom had went outside. So I had watched from my room window. When she went outside, I went back in their bedroom, went under the bed real quick and pulled out some magazines, okay? Because she had a window in her room too, so I would check to make sure she's not walking back in the house. But I went back under there and I started looking at the magazines, okay? And like I said, that's my first time seeing that as an 8-year-old kid, you know? Because I don't know about kids nowadays, but back then, like, parents did everything they could to keep that from their children. He could have been a little more creative, finding a better hiding place for it, but he stashed it under the bed. I guess he assumed I wasn't going to be under there, you know, but I found it. So I started looking through the magazines, and like, it was, yeah, just, I was pretty like surprised with the stuff I was seeing, you know. So yeah, those old school magazines from the 90s, those of you that are old enough to remember, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm looking at these magazines, and there was this one pic, okay, where this chick was on this dude with her back facing, and it accidentally showed her butthole. You wasn't supposed to see that, but it accidentally showed that, okay? And that's not really what the magazine was about. It was just about like normal intercourse. It wasn't anal or nothing like that, but it was just this one pose she was doing, okay, where it showed it. And like, me as a kid, I was like, whoa, like, I was like, yeah, I was like amazed by that. Like, I was just, I would stare at it, like, yeah. And what happened was, so my mom was walking back. She was coming back towards the house. So what I did was, like, I memorized that page number. Whatever page number it was, I had it memorized. So I was like, okay, I found a picture I like. I'm gonna go back to this picture and look at it again. So I hurried up and closed the magazine, put it back in the bag. I put the bag back together so it looked like it wasn't tampered with, and I ran out the room before she came back in. So what would happen was, like, every day I would get out of school, okay, because I was like in the 3rd grade at the time, either 3rd or 4th grade, whichever. I think it was the 3rd grade, 8 years old. Yeah, I think it was the 3rd grade. But when I would get out of school and my parents would go outside, I would go back in that room, and that page number I had memorized, I would look at it, the picture that was showing the chick's butthole. Yeah, I would just stare at it. I didn't even care about what else was going on. I just wanted to see that. And yeah, pretty much from that day on, I was like always like just hooked. It was like so perfect, and like, I just like the way it looked. It's hard to describe, you know. And pretty much from that point on, I kind of like developed a fetish for it, you know. Or I don't want to call it a fetish because it's like an understatement. Like, any girl I talk to, I ask her, does she do anal? You know, I ask her straight up. If she say no, I mean, that's cool, you know, but it's definitely a plus if she do, you know. And the first time I did it was in high school, okay? I was in high school back in 2001, you know, and it was a chick I was talking to. And I had convinced her to do it. She tried it, but she wasn't able to do it, you know, because everyone's not able to do that, you know what I'm saying? So, which is understandable. But first of all, everyone's not able to do it. But then again, being that young and inexperienced, you yourself don't know what you're doing. I mean, you're not smart enough to think, okay, well, maybe I should prep, you know, use like one of those things that you put in there to loosen it up, or use more lube. You don't think like that. You just try to like rush into things. So that's another reason. But I tried it several times with different females I was talking to in high school. And out of all the females in high school I was talking to, only one could do it. And it was still difficult for her to do it, you know. But even after high school and in normal life, a lot of females can't do it, and then some can. But here's what I noticed. Okay, now, I like all women equally. I don't care about a woman's race or nothing like that, okay? It doesn't matter to me the least bit. A chick's a chick, honestly, you know. But here's what I noticed. Like, most of the white chicks that I've dealt with, okay, I spoke to, they were always able to do it for the most part, or they were at least willing to try to do it. And then, like, the black chicks that I would talk to, they would either say no, okay, or yeah, you just wasn't gonna do it with them at all. That's what I noticed from my experience. Okay, I don't know why it's like that. The black women are a little more conservative, if you will, when it comes down to that. But the white chicks I talked to, they were always cool with it. Even if they never done it before, they would still at least try to do it. I don't know why it's like that, but that's what I noticed. Okay, there was always more willing to try new things. There was always more willing to do it. But I'm not saying the black chick won't do it at all. I mean, she'll like maybe attempt to do it, but not as frequently from what I noticed. Okay, they're a little more reserved with it. So yeah, I don't know why it's like that. I mean, I guess just, I don't know, upbringing. I have no idea, but that's my experience with it. Usually the white women are more willing to do it than black women are. And then there was times when I didn't have to ask a female. She would ask me to fuck her in the ass. I'd be like, all right, bet. I don't got to ask. You're asking me to do it to you. All right, bet. Cool. That's even easier for me. I don't got to try to convince you to do it. You're just straight out asking me to do it. All right, bet. But those were the more kinky ones. Those are the more like, yeah, the more not so, how can I say it? The not good girl types. Those are the more like wild girl types. You know what I mean? The ones that are just going to come out and just ask you to do that. Yeah, then I would tell like my buddies about it, and they'd be like, oh man, you're nasty, why would you do that? I'd be like, how's it nasty? I don't see nothing nasty about it, honestly. I don't see nothing nasty about it. There's things you have to do, okay? You don't, I mean, you can, but I don't recommend it. But you don't just go in. You actually gotta clean that part out, okay? Because that's how they do in the adult industry, okay? When they make like porn vids and stuff like that, they actually prep that part of the body. They like clean it out, okay? So you clean it out, okay? It removes all leftover waste, whatever's there, okay? It's actually like it's like kind of like a soap that you have to use, okay? And you rinse, you put it in there, and it rinse that part out, so that way it's perfectly clean and you won't have no accidents, no messes, anything like that, okay? Because that's how they do in like the porn industry, okay? And that's why they're able to do that on film and not have any accidents. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing in normal life. Okay, you should prep before you do it, and you don't have to worry about any residual waste or any bacteria, because it's going to rinse all that out and it's going to clean that area out. So yeah, there won't be no messes or no accidents. You know what I mean? So people that say it's nasty, I mean, you just take the right steps and it won't be nasty. You see what I mean? And yeah, but my buddies, they always be like, oh man, you're sick, why would you do that? And I'd be like, I mean, well, how is it sick? I just don't get, if you consider that sick, consider any kind of intercourse sick. That's how I see it. That's how I would tell them. I'd be like, I don't see it sick at all. Plus it's something I like, so I don't care if y'all call me nasty anyway. But yeah, I've been called nasty plenty of times for doing that. You know, my mom had called me nasty once too, but she don't call me that no more. But when I had first told her, I was like, yeah, I like doing this to females, she had called me nasty. She was like, oh, you're gross, you're disgusting. I was like, okay, hey, cool. You call me nasty, I take that as a compliment. I mean, that just means you're not boring. If you're not conservative, if someone's calling you nasty, think about that. Someone call you nasty or say you're sick or call you a freak, yeah, they call me that too. I don't know why they would call me that, but it is what it is. That just means you're not boring. That just means you're not conservative. So I just see that as, all right, cool. You're calling me something that's good. I guess that's a good thing. You're not born at that point. So again, to the gentleman that requested this video, I think anal with a female is great, okay? And I titled this video that, okay, the look, feel, and smell, okay? I wasn't trying to sound gross, but yeah, I like the way it look, okay? Like I was saying earlier, the feel, okay, is very tight when you in there. I don't know if you ever did before, but when you're in there, yeah, it grips you, okay? And the smell, that's pretty much self-explanatory. All right, again, I'm not trying to sound gross, I'm not trying to gross you out, but that's just me, okay? Yeah, when there's a little bit, just a little bit, okay, not a lot, but when there's a little bit of body odor, okay, that's more of a turn on, okay? I asked females before not to shower, okay, just to have a body odor, okay? Yeah, I have, and they did it, okay? So yeah, again, I'm not trying to sound nasty. I know it might sound nasty, but hey, it's just one of those things. And if it's like a clean female that has good hygiene, I had to request her not to shower. I'll just be like, hey, just stay sweaty, don't shower, you know, because I like a little bit of funk, you know, just straight up like that, you know, and she would do it too. So yeah, if she like you enough, she'll do it, you know, but that's just me. I'm not telling you to do that. That's just me. Okay. I don't do that all the time, just sometimes. So you're probably wondering, why do I like it so much? Well, because it's taboo. For one, it's nasty. People consider it nasty. It's kinky, freaky, whatever you want to call it. It's just, yeah, it's outside of the norm. Okay, pretty much. So yeah, that's pretty much the reason why. It's just, yeah, it's taboo. All right, because usually when you tell people about that, they raise an eyebrow. Okay, because it's kind of outside of the norm. A lot of people really aren't into that. You'd be surprised. Okay, and yeah, it's just kinky. It's one of those kinky things, you know. So that's pretty much the reason why. If a female asks me to lick her ass, I have no problem with that either. Okay, I was in the car one time with this chick, and we was in the parking lot, and she had just asked me to lick her ass. I was like, here in the parking lot, you want me to do that? It was broad daylight too. She's like, yeah, I really want you to. I was like, all right, whatever. So yeah, right there in her car, she asked me to do it, and I had no problem doing it either. It's just one of those things, I guess. But yeah, if a woman asks me to lick her ass, I have no problem with that at all. Okay, a lot of times she never had that done to her, but I'll ask her, hey, can I lick your ass? You ever had your ass licked? And she'll let me do it. So yeah, I had no problem doing it. A lot of guys will think that's nasty. Okay, because like I said, you have this conversation with your friends, your buddies, whatever, they'll call you gross. Like, a lot of guys won't go nowhere near a girl's ass. Okay, they won't penetrate a girl's ass, much less lick it. Okay, so when you start talking about licking the female's ass, yeah, that's like super taboo. A lot of people won't do that. Okay, they'll call you sick if you're the type of guy that does that. Okay, but I have no problem licking the girl's ass. Okay, like, I like to spread her butt cheeks and lick her ass. So yeah. And the ones that don't do anal typically will just start off with me licking her ass. All right, she'll lay on her stomach. I'll spread her butt cheeks. Okay, look at her butthole a little bit, start licking it, and then just move on from there. Okay, but like I said, if a chick don't do anal, it's not the end of the world. It's just, it would be better if she did. But if she don't, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But she'll still at least let me lick her ass, you know, just to start it off. So yeah. But honestly, I like that just as much. I like licking the girl's ass just as much as penetrating the girl's ass. Okay, so yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I said, people call me sick all the time. I've been called every name in the book. Okay, that's why I don't talk to people about this kind of stuff, because people call me sick, and pretty much any dude in general that do stuff like that, they'll call you a deviant, whatever, a sexual deviant. You know, I've been called every name in the book. But it really don't faze me, because like I said, I just take that as a compliment. All right, but yeah, and I don't care how old she is either. She can be 50, 55. If she show me her butthole, I lose my mind. Okay, I lose my mind. It drives me nuts. Okay, if she lay on her stomach or if she spread her butt cheeks in front of me, I lose it. Okay, I just lose it. I go nuts. Like I said, it's beyond the level of being a mere fetish. I don't want to call it that, because it's like, calling it that is not doing it justice. It's an understatement. It's just, yeah, like, it's like an infatuation. Like I said, since I was a kid, it's always been like that. I just like the look of a woman's butthole. I mean, it's just what it is, you know. I guess everyone have their own little fetish things that they're into, but yeah, this is pretty extreme. I'm so infatuated with a chick's butthole till I consider start my own porn website. Yeah, for real. I consider start my own porn website. I even went as far as to register a domain name for the website when I decided to start it. But the whole website would consist of penetrating a woman's ass and licking a woman's ass. Yeah, I consider starting a website, and I am going to start the website eventually. But that's what it's going to consist of, okay? Everyone out here is chasing money, you know, working these jobs and all that. So I figure, why not do something you're passionate about and make money off that? So yeah, I register a domain name for a website to do that. Yeah. So it's funny you asked me that question, because that's always something I've been into. All right, I always been into that. But hey, bro, that's really all I can say. Hey, thanks for sending the request. But yeah, that's all I can say. I like the look, feel, and smell of a woman's ass, and it's just what it is. I have no shame in that. All right. So a lot of people are afraid to mention what they're into. I have no shame whatsoever. If I like something, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Well, if someone asks me, I'm not just gonna come out and say it, but you asked me, so I'm telling you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made this video, because like I said, I don't share things that I'm into, because people are quick to pass judgment on you. But since you asked me twice, then I just made this video, so you can shut the hell up and stop asking me, okay? So there you have it. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Embrace your inner darkness. So I was driving home, and it was something else I thought about that I had wanted to add to the video. Okay, so we're gonna go back to when I was in Virginia, okay? Because when I was active duty military, I was also stationed in Virginia at NAS Oceana, okay, in Virginia Beach. So when I was there, it was a chick I was talking to, all right, another white chick. But when we would link up on the weekends, and she would come over to my apartment, whatever. And when I actually seen her naked the first time, like, she actually bleached her ass. All right, she bleached her butthole, okay? And I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know people could bleach that part of the body, but apparently they make a special bleach just for that. So I asked her, I was like, because I noticed it was kind of unusual, and she told me she bleached it, okay? Because it was like real pink. It was like, you could tell it looked unnatural, okay? But it was like very pink, and she said she wanted to look like the girls that make adult videos, okay? But as far as anal, she wanted to do that all the time, okay? That's all she ever wanted to do, okay? That's all she liked, honestly. And I would ask her, I'd be like, why do you like doing this so much? I mean, I didn't mind, because I like doing it with females too, like that. But I just asked her, I was like, what's so good about that you like it so much, you want to do it all the time? And she just said, it's a tighter feeling, it feel better, and she get off more to it. So yeah, I mean, that just goes to show that a lot of females are into it, and some of them, they'll want to do that all the time. But as far as doing that, I never requested that from her. She would ask me to. I was never like, hey, let me get you in the ass. I never asked her that. She would be like, hey, can you fuck me in the ass? She would ask me to do that to her. So again, I didn't complain. I was like, I was down with it, but it was kind of bizarre. That's all she wanted, because a lot of females, they'll do it, but they want to do it the regular way too, but her, that's all she wanted to do. She just wanted to do that. And when I first started talking to her, I didn't even know she was like that, because she seemed kind of like a nice chick. But, when you get to know somebody better, you see how they really are, but I didn't start talking to her for that reason, but that's how she turned it out to be. She was really into that, and that's all she ever wanted to do. But the thing is, she was in a relationship at the time, and I even knew the dude too. So she had a boyfriend, but she was still messing with me, and I actually knew the dude because I used to work with him. But yeah, she was crazy, and she was a freak too, because she had a boyfriend, but she was still messing with other dudes. And the poor dude didn't even know that she was getting around like that, so. But it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, it's crazy. That's all she ever wanted. She loved it, because like all the chicks I ever talked to, she's the only one that only wanted it like that. I mean, she'll do it the other way, but that was like her preference. Like, she only wanted it like that. So yeah, it was kind of bizarre. But yeah, so I just wanted to throw that into the video, because I had wanted to mention it earlier, but I forgot. So I just wanted to add that to the video. I thought that was pretty interesting, but that's all I got. I'll catch y'all on the next one.